And with that, let's take a look at our keys to the game. Jackson, what are you looking out for tonight?
Well, Sabrina, I'm focused on Notre Dame's defensive scheme. All right, it's time we've talked about this. Something has to change with this defense. Personally, I'm going to say it's the scheme. They're playing a lot of zone coverage right now, and as you can see there, A&M was able to find the holes in that too easily. They're also not getting pressure on the quarterback. They need to call up some blitzes because if you allow the quarterback to stand back there, you can't cover in zone. Players on the defense just seemed lost at moments. I think it comes back to coaching, specifically D coordinator Chris Ash and his play calling. But Marcus Freeman thinks differently. This week he said it's not the scheme, it's the execution.
It's the execution of what we're asking them to do. And if we're asking them to do things they can't execute, then we got to evaluate what we're asking them to do. And so, like I said, it's not a call. It's not a scheme. There's no perfect call, no perfect scheme. It's the ability to execute. And that, as I said, like, we've spent time figuring out why the lack of execution, right? If the answer was just call something different, we would do that.
And Sabrina, what are you looking for in this game?
Yeah, I'm saying on the defensive side of the ball, but limiting explosive plays. This defense struggled against A&M. A&M averaged about 21 yards per completion. Yeah, that cannot happen today. This defense has to execute on the field, especially against this Purdue team. And the biggest thing really is consistency. I talked about it earlier in the show. This defense can this defense be consistent throughout 4 quarters? And actually, safety Don Schuler talked about some of the mistakes this defense has made mentally throughout each week.
Honestly, just lack of focus. Like, we just have to focus better in the critical moments. You know, every team that we play is going to give us their best, and we have to continue to do that no matter if it's the first snap or the last. And that's kind of been the kind of focus point the whole week is, you know, we just got to continue to do it from first to fourth quarter.
All right, Jackson, we just talked about our key to the game, but who is one player you think will make an impact in tonight's game?
Yeah, well, they need to get some pressure on the quarterback right there. So I'm going to pick the one player who has a sack right there, Boubacar Traore. They should be calling up some blitzes. They should be trying to get more pressure on the QB. But at the end of the day, they need it to come from this defensive line. And Boubacar Traore, in my opinion, is the player playing the best right there. Look for him to get a sack or two here today. How about for you, Sabrina?
All right, I'm going the offensive side of the ball, but we got tight end Eli Raritan. He played that. He played a great game in that Miami game, especially in the Texas A&M game. He has yet to have a touchdown this season, so I'm hoping he can do that today.
Yeah, let's go to our game predictions right now. I have Notre Dame winning this game 31-13. It kind of reminds me of last year's Georgia Tech game where it looks like a good score, but it was kind of close throughout. So I'm going there, 31-13.
All right, I'm one-upping you. It's 31-14. Notre Dame wins this. Of course, they've lost by a couple of points to some really good teams these past few weeks. At the end of the day, I see this Notre Dame team winning this game, but of course, they need some help on the defensive side of the ball.
They really need some help to keep Purdue to just a couple points like that, 13 or 14 points. Well, thank you.